flare over so quickly. You've chosen each firework with such care and thought, and after a few seconds of brilliance, it's finished forever. It's a bit like cooking. All the planning and work you do beforehand, and then suddenly everything is gone. But one blessing is that all the time cooking is becoming more fun. Successful dishes are much easier to achieve today as new ideas and new products are developed for you, the modern housewife. Very few kitchens are exactly alike, so we'll create our own and just add the basic equipment we need. And of course, the modern you. Let's call her Anne. Cooking perfectly is a skilled job, and no one expects perfection all the time. Anne, like most of us, isn't a superb cook, but there is always the other woman. The woman who never fails, who does everything perfectly. Her name, of course, is Angela. Anne and Angela collect everything they need for making short crust pastry. Then the ovens are lit so that they are heating at the right temperature. Now they're ready. Angela truly is an angel. She is meticulous in everything she does. She even weighs the stork. But Anne knows that with stork she needn't bother with weighing. She need merely divide up the packet to get equal portions. They have got together bowls that are large enough, the right knives and spoons, and the correct ingredients accurately measured, weighed, and sieved. Everything needed for short crust pastry is now ready on the table. Tools must be used properly, and this includes hands. Angela has a wonderfully light touch. She knows just how to incorporate air into the mixture and how to make a perfect blend so that there are no lumps to spoil the perfection of the final pastry. Anne isn't as adept as Angela. Her touch isn't as light. But she uses a new sensible shortcut. Stork all in one way. 5 ounces of stork, only 4 tablespoons of the sieved flour, and 2 tablespoons of water. All these are put in together. The difference between the two methods is that because stork is made with a blend of oils, which breaks down very quickly when beaten, it can combine more readily with other ingredients. Now Anne adds the rest of the flour, 8 ounces in all. Stirs, and the dough is nearly ready. Angela is still hard at work. Making pastry the traditional way needs quite a bit of skill. Although Anne isn't such a good cook, her pastry will be just as good as Angela's, even though it has been less of a labor and taken less time, about half the time Angela needs. Pastry is wonderfully rewarding to cook well. The action of the fat is very important. It must coat every grain of flour to give that delicious shortness of good short crust pastry. This is by far the most popular and the easiest pastry to make, especially with stork all in one way. It is the basis of many savory and sweet dishes, not all at the same meal, of course. But think of plum pie and treacle tart, of Cornish pasties and quiche Lorraine, of cherry tartlets and Bakewell tart, of lemon meringue pie. Lemon meringue pie. Who can resist it? Not only the pastry, but the filling too can be made with the simple stork all in one way. It cuts out the many tedious stages of adding ingredients one by one and stirring them in slowly, which the traditional recipe demands. The same is true of sauces. With all in one, everything can be put into the pan together. The sauce is always smooth and of the right consistency because you just can't go wrong. It's quicker and it's easier than the old way. Now add parsley, anchovy, cheese, what you like. Surprise your family with a touch of haute cuisine. With lamb cutlets, serve a sauce espagnole or an anchovy sauce with fish. Simple and delicious. This is, after all, the essence of a good meal. Food in its many forms contains the essentials that keep our bodies ticking over healthily. But it must literally look good enough to eat. It must taste good, and it must be good. But remember also that mouth-watering food means more than just good cooking. Decide on your main dish, and then think of what goes with it, in flavour, in colour, and in texture. Meals that are varied and attractive are so much more exciting to make than dull ones, and surprisingly, are a greater help to good digestion. Whatever the meal, it should contain something crispy. Think of this when next you plan a party. When you plan for a perfect evening, plan for a perfect meal. Children love sandwiches, particularly the traditional ones, such as hard-boiled egg. But use it in a new way. Angela slices the egg neatly, conventional woman that she is. Anne has newer ideas. She grates the eggs, so they are easier to use as a filling. Have a little fun with colour. Brown bread, white bread. Pink filling, made with tinned salmon blended with creamed stork. And white filling, creamed stork, a dash of mayonnaise, and the grated eggs. Then spread on white bread and brown bread. A bit large, perhaps, even for the hungriest child. But not like this. Something crispy is essential for a good contrast. They both know how to do this by crisping slices of bread. Angela is a past master at slicing bread thinly. Anne, as you know, is pretty bad at this sort of thing. But she gets by in her own way. It doesn't matter which method you use, the results are equally good. Another idea is to make lots of little pizzas, delicious and different. Use your imagination. It's worth spending quite a lot of time on planning food, whether for your family or for friends. But go carefully when you introduce new ideas like pizzas. Make sure you know what everything is so you can explain, particularly to your less adventurous husband. What is it? Where does it come from? What's inside it? A stuffed olive. Olives from the silver groves of Italy, Spain and Greece. And stuffed with pimento, usually known as red pepper. What is a pimento? Try it and see. Raw or cooked, it has the taste of the sun hidden in its polished red or green flesh. So many things to try, to experiment with. And at the right season, quite cheap too. And if your husband objects to new ideas, soothe him with something more familiar than these, something just to his taste. Cakes like these are popular with everyone, but to be successful they must be light. Air has to be introduced into the mixture by beating the stork and sugar thoroughly. More air is introduced by beating the eggs into the mixture. When the cake is cooked, there are a large number of air cells which give it its delicious lightness. Anne and Angela have decided to make a Victoria sandwich each, but they have different ways of making them feather light. Angela has the skill and Anne the common sense. Anne asks all the time, what's new? What's different? How can I cut out the tedium from cooking? How can I speed it up without spoiling the dish? And what's more, she finds out the answers. So while Angela sticks to the long traditional method of creaming and beating, Anne will use the all-in-one method again. She adds a level teaspoon of baking powder as an additional raising agent. Air is incorporated more easily with the softer blends of margarine. The air cells will be smaller, more numerous, and so more evenly distributed throughout. Let's try it as a race.
And both are away to a nice, smooth start. Angela gets cracking right away, and she has a lovely, easy action. But Anne's making heavy weather of it and beginning to fall behind. Come on, Anne, get going, get beating. You've got a long way to go yet. Good old Angela, she really is hard at it. Now she's got the spatula out and the soft going suits her smooth style wonderfully. There's no doubt about it, Angela seems to be opening up a big lead. If she can keep up the pace, she's bound to win. Come on, Anne. But look at this. Now Anne's beginning to come up on the outside, looking stronger every minute. Angela has the spatula out again, but she's only on her first egg, and Anne's coming down the straight with all the work behind her. Egg, sugar, stork, and the rest of it, all ready for the oven. Anne wins in a canter with poor Angela at about 10 lengths, 1 egg, and a lot of work behind. A brilliant win for Anne, and the all-in-one way.
Angela still has a long way to go. The second egg has yet to be mixed in, and after that the flour to be folded in carefully, up to another 5 minutes. You need no miracles to make a good cake. It's no more difficult than other kinds of cooking, especially with the all-in-one way, and it is often infinitely more satisfying. From a simple basic mixture, you can create delightful variations. All these cakes are made with the Victoria sandwich mixture. So use different jams, or creamy fillings, or make it glisten with chocolate or coffee icing. For fruit cakes, give added richness with angelica and nuts of different kinds, or use gleaming glacé cherries for sparkle. Cut your cake according to your taste, light, airy, crumbly, and altogether delicious, and all homemade by you. So, whether you think you are like Anne, or like Angela, or like both, or neither, remember that cooking is basic common sense. And Stork all-in-one is a big step forward in making sure that you, lucky, lucky you, can now enjoy cooking as it should be enjoyed.